Hello, Gemini. This is Angel Aura Divination, and I'm here to give you more of a spiritual reading this round. So, this is going to be answering the topic, a message from your guides. And I am going to be using the Angelarium Oracle of Emanations and also the Wheel of the Year Tarot to give you a message about who your guide is and possibly also what they might have to say to you as well. This could be any form of being, spirit, entity, deity, whatever it is that you connect through spirit, or really connect to through spirit. I did not pray for this reading, so I'm going to do that before I actually get into it. You're not going to hear me say any words. I'm just going to kind of pray over the cards, and then I'm going to get into the reading. I did shuffle the cards before I got on camera, though, and I'm going to shuffle them as I do the reading as well. The Angelarium Oracle of Emanations, before I get into it, is linked below, but also it is a oracle deck with illustrations based on certain concepts of angels, archangels, and also illustrations that are more manifestations of different energies that can be understood and found in the Kabbalistic tree of life. I'm not too well versed on the concepts behind that, not well enough to share it with others, but I do use this oracle from time to time, and in this reading, I'm going to be using this oracle deck to give you a better understanding of the guide that you might be connecting with at this time. So I'm going to say a very quick prayer over the cards, and then I'm going to get into your reading, okay? Okay, there we go. So let's get your oracle card out. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so we have Hod. This is the left leg, and it's also associated with the concept of submission. Now, if you do your own study of the Kabbalistic tree of life, then this is one of the emanations of the energy centers that I'm speaking of. So you can even research Hod yourself, and you might find some more information about the concept and also this emanation as well. I think the oracle deck is very interesting, but I'm just going to get into what I see in the card in relation to your deity. Or not your deity, your guide. So this might even be a deity. This is a very nurturing, because that was a slip of the tongue. This might be a very nurturing, or it is a very nurturing guide for you. They connect to you, especially through the mind. They are a very ascended entity, individual. There's a heavenly aspect here, but not necessarily an angelic aspect, I will say. This entity might also be very secretive. So if this was an ancestor or somebody that you knew when they were alive, they might have kept a lot of secrets, possibly about the things that they believed in, or the actions that they took in their life, or the reasons behind the actions that they took, my guides are saying. They could have been an air sign, or possibly even an earth or a water sign. There's strong water energy here, but not... If they were a water sign, Cancer comes through strong, but also something like Aquarius possibly as well. They could have been very old if you knew them. They also might have had a physical deformity, and they might have taken pity on individuals who are disabled or who do have their own physical deformities as well. They might have even taken in animals who didn't have both of their eyes or didn't have all of their legs, or like a dog who didn't have a tail, or who might have had its ear cut off or something like that as well, is what they're saying. So it's like they're really highlighting, especially in the pets or possibly even in the children, or the work that this person did. They worked with even possibly amputees or something like that, where there was physical deformities that would have been noticeable on the outward appearance, to the individuals involved in this individual's life if they were alive. And that also might be an association that they have if they are not a human, or if they were not a human that you knew. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like they might show themselves to you as, okay, they're saying not to say that. It's more like, I'm just getting three-legged dog, you know, one-eyed cat kind of energy, where it's like they were known to have very peculiar interests or very peculiar animals, or possibly even, you know, very visually different pets or even relations, if that was not the energy of this individual itself, because that could even be the energy of the person that I'm speaking of, especially if they were old in age. So let's get some cards out for what this guide has to say to you, Gemini. Oh, I like that. Okay, anything else for Gemini? I know you want to keep it short, and I do want to keep this reading short, so I'm probably going to give you a fast message. This guide also did want to highlight that they were really just trying to tell you who they were. But, okay, so let's get into it then. Yes, okay, so the first card they want to talk to you about specifically, they have the Six of Coins, the Six of Pentacles here for you. This guide really wants to help you manifest money, and they also appreciate any charity that you do. They might even be wanting you to do more charity work or do more volunteer work as well, with the Six of Pentacles here being a representation of that charity work. This is not just about giving money, it's also about giving time, and it's also about showing how much you care for the individuals that you are giving charity or giving volunteer work to. You know, there are individuals who are very much less fortunate than you, they said, that would really appreciate or benefit from what you can give to the community around you. Okay, this guide might come to you in the form of animals, especially birds, with the Eight of Wands here. They might also send you messages through possibly even other people, where they send you messages through what you hear. They send you messages through possibly even like the spam emails that you get, or something that you might hear on your TV. Like if you're watching a TV show, they might send you a message through the shows you're guided to watch, or something that you were guided to watch on YouTube, something like this as well, but not necessarily, but it's more of like the mundane aspect of it, to where this is like geared toward a spiritual conversation about what your guide has to say to you. They're saying in your everyday life, you know, you might listen to the radio, and either you'll hear them in the static of the radio, or more likely you'll hear them in the song choice, especially if it's not today's hits. Like let's say you're listening to a today's hits type radio station in your car or something, and then they play like a throwback. The throwback might be related to what this guide has to say to you, and you're going to know, you're going to feel it intuitively if that's true for you or not. But you might even be missing some of those those more deeper connected messages. And they literally said it in my head, meditation. Like if you meditate more, or you focus more on looking for messages, sometimes you might get them a little differently, or you'll be able to pick them out, because you'll start knowing when your guide is speaking versus when you're just listening for a message from your guide. Okay, we also have the Knight of Pentacles. So they are saying, yes, that you do need to give to others, but you also need to focus on giving to yourself. This is also an indication of an earth sign person around you as well, Gemini. You could also be an earth sign placement, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But especially if you are attracted to masculines, there is a masculine around you who does want to offer something to you. They might be moving very slow to you, possibly even traveling towards you. This is somebody, they're saying this is somebody you don't necessarily like, but it's somebody that you care for, and that you may have a relationship with this individual in the future. We have the Two of Cups here, which is the representation, especially in this deck, of the traditional marriage, a soulmate union, or even just a relationship in general. This might be a past life relationship between you and this person, because this card has the lilies in it, and the lilies are kind of a representation of resurrection to me. So it's kind of like you might have had a past life connection with the individual that you are currently dealing with, which is why you have such a disdain for them, is what your guides are saying. But they have something to offer you, and it could even be money. They might have money. Okay, so we have the Nine of Swords here, and this is the last card in the reading, and then they're actually saying that this is really going to be it. It was going to be kind of a short message. They're also saying here with the Nine of Swords that you might even be dreaming of this guide, or they might be talking to you through your fears right now because they want you to work through your fear, and they know that you know you're talking to them. They might also be manifesting to you as possibly bats or crows, maybe even ravens, depending on where you live. And that you might even be fearful sometimes that like these what are they, animals are like giving you bad energy, but in reality the animals are just there to kind of send the energy of your guide, who's not really intending to give you bad energy because they're working with you through love and light. You know what I mean? So they're even saying that this Knight of Pentacles might be connected to your guide in a way, but not necessarily in the same way that you're connected to your guide, where this guide might have even brought somebody to you because they know this person will be good for you, especially in relation to your soul growth, but not necessarily not necessarily in your stress levels, but in your soul growth. You're going to have to learn how to deal with this individual, and that's part of your own spiritual journey if you choose to accept it. So hopefully this resonated for you. I know that this reading was kind of vague, but it's a spiritual reading, so it's okay to be a little vague. That's all I really have for you, Gemini, though. Yeah, I would really appreciate if you left a like and a subscribe. I would also love to hear if this resonated for you in any way, so leave that down in the comments. Find me on my other social media, and that's all I have. Goodbye, Gemini.